Hey, welcome everyone. Tom here from Park Avenue Trading, your chief dealer, keeping you sane in these insane markets. It is Sunday morning at 8:13 on November 17th, 2024. Going to do the Forex weekly analysis for the 18th through, the 22nd. Of course, it's going to include this evening session for me because that's going to be Japan coming in. But let's start the analysis off as we always do with good old dollar yen. And what we got in dollar yen, I'm going to go to the daily analysis here. Let's go to the dailies. One day. Okay. What we have right now, we have something that I did not expect to happen. And I had a bias in dollar yen. I thought dollar yen was definitely bid. I thought we were going to go back up to like at least the 160 level. It didn't happen, and we made the high at 156.80. So that's history. So as we stand right now, dollar yen is in a neutral to bearish tone. Why I say neutral is because the upcoming week, right now, what we need to do is to get over 155, say 12, in order to show any type of strength in dollar yen for the week. Now, you got to pay attention to the daily analysis because I give the updated points, and this is just an overall analysis, right? So it's bearish. If we break the low I did not expect this thing to go down to 153.86. I really didn't. I thought it was going to hold the 154.80 level, and I had the crosses right. And I'm not trying to talk out of both sides of my mouth. I'm just basically saying that the idea of the crosses I had were bearish, sterling yen, euro yen, but I thought that the bearishness was going to occur in sterling dollar and euro dollar. So I thought they were going to go down while dollar yen slowly went up, but they were going to go down faster. The exact opposite happened. And the one thing that saved my skin was using that little tool that I gave you guys on the basic Forex trading video, and where I told you that you could use a factor of 123 pips. It's one that I use all the time to give me an indication of what the market needs to do to kind of show some strength. It's like a demarcation line, and I'll put that video in the link down here after I do the total analysis. You'll have a link so you could see it. And I should have went over in more depth in that video. Basically, it's used as kind of like a pivot up and down. It's not, one that is written in, how can you say it? It's basically a demarcation line. It's like a buoy in the ocean, like, oh, okay, that there's a channel on either side, but it's a point where you have to be cautious, right? Maybe not even maybe not even a buoy, but anyway. So the way it stands right now is there is support at 153.33. If 153.33 is broken, and I'm gonna bring you back to, and I want you to go look at this, okay? There was an October 21st high in dollar yen that was 151.94. That high stood in place for a very long time, very, very long time. So if that high gets, remember, now an old high becomes support. Now, I'm going to take you back in time just so that you could see what I'm talking about. When we made the high here at 161.95, you notice that the marketplace actually came down on it. This is a daily chart, okay? So it came down and it touched that old high. That old high acted as support for a short term. I mean, for 4 days, it basically market tried to turn around going to 151.26, and then once it broke once it broke, it went back down to 139.50. So that old high was an important high then. It's an important high now. Okay, so if that marketplace, if that high gets broken this week, it's basically showing downward pressure in dollar yen and a potential to go back down into the 140s. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go down to 139.49 again, and it could, but I would use the low day's close, 140.50. I got to be careful with my big figures, man. I mean, I sometimes talk too quickly and I spurt out stupid big figures. So please forgive me. Pay attention. You know what I'm saying. And I know it's annoying because when people do it and I'm watching a video, I go, what is he effing talking about? I get it. I'm sorry. So just be mindful of me spewing out. Like, I would have said right here 150.50 or something, but it's not. It's 140, say 50 level. Okay. So this point right here is a really important level right here. Now, I want to show you something. If I had the 150.94, 151.94, 151.94 in, and I have my little factor in there, I get 153.17 was a point that it needed to get over. I'm just talking about this area right here. Right here. Right here. It needed to get over 153.17. Okay, it does. And it rallies back up to this 155 like 20 level. But if you notice, once it breaks at 153.17, it just fell out of bed. That was the warning I got in dollar yen on Friday that I was completely wrong. And I should have did an update at that time, but I was like, how much lower could it go from that 154.80? Well, it went down, 100 points lower. So, but the crosses worked. So that's why I was like, the crosses are good. I'm going to be completely candid too. I'm going to do a video on like some of my worst trades. And Friday was a really bad trade. I was short sterling yen at 197.35. And I'll even show you the trade call. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find the trade call. Here was a trade call right here. Short sterling yen 197.35, stop loss 197.70, 1/3 off at 196.68, 1/3 off at 194, 196.40, stop loss 197. I squared myself at 190. Hang on a second. Let's see if I can bring it up. I can't. I squared myself at 196.70. I didn't follow my stop. I should have just left my stop at 197. There was no reason for me not to. I mean, I would have still made money on it, but I wouldn't have made, 30 pips or something. But this thing fell down to a ridiculous, it was just it was a great short, and, went to 194.29. So there you go. That's a shitty trade. Okay, I admit it. It's it's horrible to say, but it's what happened. So let's get back to the chart. So here we are, as we stand right now. Okay, so the warning levels, a break of 193, 193. You see what I'm saying? 153.34. If we break 153.34, we're opening up the path this week to that old high, that October 21st of 2022 high at 151.94. Now, the main support for this thing is 151.20. If that goes, and I'm not saying it's going to go this week, but if that level goes, we're opening up our way to like 148 again. And okay, that's what it is technically. Now, in order for this thing to show any type of strength, we need to get above 155.11. Where'd I come up with that thing? Well, I took the 154, the low, basically added a little bit more than 123 points. The low was 153.85, 1.23, 155.08. I'm saying, no, we need to get above 155.11. It's not that much different, but I'm just adding a little skid to it. And if we do that, then we could track back between say 154.5 and 156.80. So dollar yen basically is in a neutral to bearish mode this week. You got to pay attention to the daily stuff, but I'll definitely give the points out every, for the day. Coming up Monday, I'll figure out what's going on. I can get some volatility analysis to get a better handle on where the resistance is and where the support is for the days coming for the week. All right, let's go over to sterling dollar. Sterling dollar has been bearish. We called that in the last weekly analysis. Nothing has changed. In order for cable to show any type of strength, 127.50 has to be breached and has to be held above, but it's got resistance all the way up. That 130.05 level was a beast, and it is held. So really, cable, if it breaks this 125.80 level, it's tracking down to 123.86. And it's opening its way up to like 119. So in order for it to show strength right now, it needs to definitely get above 127.50. So again, you got to pay attention to the daily analysis. I'll go over the points on the day that are really important. But cable is bearish, and same thing. Now I'm going to go over that wonderful euro dollar, that I haven't been covering, okay? Euro dollar, in order to show any type of strength this week, it needs to get above 107.60, 107.58. Right now, it's tracking to 104.41 as a support. Let's go to a 4-hour chart so we can just, here we go. So here we are on a 4-hour chart. It's tracking 104.41. If it breaks 104.41, it's got support at 103.76. That is a pretty important support point. If it breaks 103.76, overall, it's opening itself up to parity again. And even possibly below parity. Parity obviously is 1-to-1, but, overall, the euro dollar, I don't really remember the ultimate low of it. Was it like 80-something cents? I don't even know. I'd have to go back and look at it or look at my records. But anyway, it's basically bearish. It needs to get above 107.58. There's an important demarcation line at 106.47. That would be the first warning that, hey, we got a potential to go track a little bit higher here. If it can't get through that, it's just downward pressure on it. Let's move on over to good old sterling yen. Okay. Resistance on the week in sterling yen is 195.61. It is bearish. I don't see anything until like 193.58. If it breaks 193.58, it's opening its way up to 192 the figure. That was a big important point at 192 the figure. If it breaks that, we're looking at like it's opening its way up to 190 again. There will be a lot of important in between points, but really the first warning level that potentially we can get back up to around 198, 198.50 is a break of 195.61. There's going to be a lot of resistance up in this area. Like up in this area, there'll be a tremendous amount of resistance. The 195.61 is an important level. That's the one that it's got to get over to really show any type of strength. If it can't do it, it's going to track probably between 193.58, 195, say 60, and then eventually it could break that and head towards the 192 level for the week. Okay. Again, a lot can happen during the week, so always pay attention to that daily stuff. Let's go over to euro yen. Okay. Euro yen's another one. If I go to the weekly analysis, okay, if I go to a weekly chart, all right, and basically this is what you do. When this week started off, right, we had 1, 2, 3. We needed a break of this level down here, 161.84. We haven't gotten it. So this week that opens, right, we got this low, 1, 2, 3. This will be the first warning level. If we break the 162.31, then we're going to attempt the 161.84. So let's put a line in there. 160. Let's put it this. It's this week's low. Okay. If we break that, then we're going to be attacking this 161.70. If that goes, we're opening our way up to 158.69. In order to show any strength this week, the important point to look at is this 163.55. It needs to get over this 163.55 to basically start trading in the range of 165, the figure, and the 163.55 level in here. If it could get above this high, then we're looking at that 166.90 level again. But it is bearish, and I'm thinking that I'll be looking right now, as I'm looking at the marketplace, I'd be looking to sell rallies at specific points, not just any point, measured move points, things like that. Old, pivot levels, Fibonacci levels, all that stuff, upper level fibs, the 0.618 to the 0.82 coffin box level on a 4-hour chart or a 1-hour chart, looking in those areas to, sell some with a low risk, trying to get into a trade that could potentially drop to 158, say 70. So that's where we stand on the week. If you have any comments, please leave them below. I'll put a link in the description for the video I was talking about, the fact, I call it a factor, of 1.23, so you can watch that video. Leave some comments there, because Google loves algorithms and thumbs up, and because that's all about advertisers. I don't advertise, but other people do. They advertise, why aren't you trading this Fibonacci trading system? Or, hey, do you think that options are complicated and really difficult to understand? I could show you one option trade a day that you can make, and you can make $14 million with a $500 account. Like those type of ads, right? So anyway, please head over to Park Avenue Trading, get yourself a free ebook, because I want to put you on my mailing list and send you my emails. Also, please share my videos far and wide. I want to build a big trading community. I'm looking to trade with some people. All right, so you have a wonderful week ahead, and get ready for the daily analysis coming up on Monday morning. Look forward to seeing you soon. Cheers.